Like glue inakupeleka aje. Of course we have Sean Paul in the building ramping up the rhetoric. Tunakupeleka na energy mbaya sana. Right about now you know what time it is. Nataka nikupeleka na ngoma moja kidogo ama wachana na hiyo story. Tuende kazi. You know what time it is. Tuende kazi.
Yeah. What's the formation?
Energy Radio.
Yes, sir. Sammy Wamai, of course, Nicolette White in the studio with me today. Guys, let's start by talking about Arsenal and, of course, what they did regarding Zinchenko. I threw a line. Sammy was like, oh, that was a good line. We're going to be crying in London. Of course, hard times for Ukraine. Sorry to mimic that a little bit. But what do you think of their signing regarding Zinchenko?
Look, a lot of people were what do you call this? Sleeping on Zinchenko. Zinchenko is actually a very, very decent player. And I'll let you guys know that Zinchenko is a midfielder. He's a central midfielder. But Pep Guardiola, throughout Zinchenko's time at City, has played him at left back, and he's done a stellar job.
He wasn't a winger, no? A left winger?
But naturally he's a central midfielder. That's his true position.
Yeah.
But he was played as a left back and he did a stellar job. And I'm going to point to the last game of the season when Man City was playing against Aston Villa. He's the one who set up the assist for Rodri to score the equalizing goal. Okay? That's just one of his many highlights at City. For City to sell Zinchenko to Arsenal, I feel like I'm not unhappy, but I'm worried that we are selling our players to the competition. Okay, I know we have our connection with Arteta and Pep and Arteta and all that, but we've given them Jesus and Zinchenko. Arsenal fans, stop. It stops there. Don't come for anybody else, right? Come for our water boy, come for the chef, whatever, but don't come for any of our other players.
I think you need the chef to stay, man.
Yeah.
You don't need overweight players.
It's fine. Come for the chef, come for the water boy, come for the security guard, but not more players.
Where do you think Zinchenko will play, though? Who is he benching?
Left back.
Yeah. What about Bellerin? What about Bellerin, bro?
Bellerin is a right back.
He's a right back.
He's a right back.
Who do you have at left back?
You have Tierney. You have Tierney at left back.
He's not benching Tierney.
That's tricky.
Yeah?
He's not benching Tierney.
But he's giving competition to Tierney.
Look, guys, and that's the thing. Defensively, he's probably not better than Tierney. But technically, holding the ball and with the dribbles and going forward, attacking-wise, he's probably a better player. I listened to Arteta's interview.
Yeah.
Of course, he was interviewed and asked about the signing of this guy.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm happy to have him in our team. I feel like the reason we bought him is because he can do he's somewhat flexible. Yeah, he's a flexible player. He can play in numerous positions. So he's going to add on to what they already have in the team.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if Sioni akibench Tierney. I think I'll agree with Nicolette there.
Well, it's yet to be seen, but like you've just
unless
said,
they reposition Tierney, because there's a time Tierney played as a CB. So unless they reposition Tierney to a CB, and then play Zinchenko on the left, or play him just ahead of the defenders in a CDM position.
It's possible. You see, and that's the advantage Arsenal are getting. You're getting a player that can play either left back, can play central defensive midfield, can play central, perhaps even attacking midfield. Because for Ukraine, he's a central attacking midfielder.
Yeah.
He is. So it's a big plus. It's a
One
big plus.
one thing I'm scared about now, the way Arsenal is going, specifically with Manchester City. You can see Gabriel Jesus has now moved on to Arsenal. Now we have Zinchenko. These are players that he took part in their development.
True.
These are players that he knows.
Yeah.
So we can't ignore the fact that they might actually get better.
There's a plan.
He already knows his players. He knows where they're going to fit in the team. And he said that when we were at City, we molded Zinchenko. We molded, of course, Gabriel Jesus. So it's looking quite exciting on that end. Sergeant Nicolocta from Daystar Massive tuko ndakas mbaya sana. Show iko lit kama kawa. I'm John Alu, tuned in from Ahero Kisumu City. Asante sana John Alu. Hakikisha umetutumia mchele pale kutoka Ahero. Ismail Abdalla Nakuru tuko ndani Energy Sports Vibe kabisa. Shout out to my main man Pinches Kim ambaye anatoka hapa Choka. Tafadhali continue sending in those messages so that we can keep on having the conversation. And remember our hashtag pale Twitter ni #NRG Sports Vibe. We have a lot to cover regarding transfers. Of course, nataka tuongelee Jack Grealish alikuwa anapigwa huko kwa pitch huko.
Sasa.
And you know guys, there's something about this Jack Grealish. It's like he naturally annoys people. No. I don't know whether it's his
He has
hair.
more fights than assists.
I don't know whether it's his
He
hair.
does. Are we arguing about that, Sabi?
People, I am outnumbered here.
But he does. He has more fights than assists.
Please help me. I am in pain. I am in pain.
You're in pain,
Please. Please help me out here. First of all, Jack Grealish, after that match against Club America, he released a statement and said, I like being kicked.
He actually released a statement.
Yeah, as in like, the post-match interview, whatever.
The coveted Gucci ambassador.
Yeah, Jack Gucci Grealish. He said he likes being kicked. What do you call this? He's a
narcissist. Let's just be honest.
He said it motivates him when players like come for him like that. You understand? And that's mostly down to how he plays as a player. He's a ball carrier, and as a ball carrier, people, dude, we all saw what happened last season against Atletico Madrid. Guys trying to touch his hair.
Because he was annoying
Savage.
people.
No, he wasn't annoying people.
He was annoying people. He does that.
Trying to,
He does that.
I don't know how he does it, but it just comes out so naturally for Grealish. It's like the moment he touches a ball and he goes past you.
It's 100 million that has gotten to his head and the whole
You go on the
Gucci
jugular and you just want to kick him. So I don't know how.
You Man United fans are acting like you've never had villains in your team before.
I don't support Man United.
Who is Roy Keane? Who is Roy Keane?
We are the.
Ask Patrick Vieira. He's going to answer that question.
No, but you see, you have to be good. And you can't be like bang average and then you're here trying to fight with people. Ochoa, out of everyone, bruh, respect that guy.
Ochoa, there's a reason he is not in any one of the top 5 leagues in Europe.
But he doesn't want the top 5 leagues in Europe. Please go, bruh, do your research.
It's not about wanting.
He doesn't want
No one wants him.
No, he's 37 right now. He's 37 right now, going to 38.
But he's a keeper.
No, he's 37 right now, going to 38. But look at his history as Ochoa, as the player. Bruh, you need to respect that dude.
His history is only his hairstyle.
Nah.
Let's leave it at that.
First of all, he's not a tall goalkeeper. He went with Mexico all the way into the semis.
So his history has to do with his height. I mean, what?
No, he's not a tall goalkeeper, but he's extremely good for his position.
Higher.
Ochoa only shows up in the World Cup.
Higher.
Other than
regardless,
that,
he's 5 foot something and he shows up in the World Cup.
Handle. Guys.
Andale actually means keep going. So
I know.
I
just said, how do you say stop? How do you say stop in
Ask
Spanish?
Nicolette. She's
How do you say
Latin.
Just say stop. We're not doing languages.
So, guys,
just say please, por favor.
Listen, por favor,
Yeah.
Lento, slowly.
Yes, guys, you see now, this is how much drama Jack Grealish causes in this studio.
What do you
on
mean?
the pitch or out of the
But
pitch.
it's
You can
true.
see how
We can't deny the fact that he has more fights in the Champions League than he does assists.
Okay.
So,
deny it, refute it.
Nataka tudadisi hii mambo ya Jack Grealish kwa undani ili tuje tuelewe shida yake ni gani.
Hana shida.
Shida yake ni gani?
Hana shida.
I think the cologne he puts on before he goes on the pitch, it annoys players like Chiellini who are natural fighters who like sweat. So 0710-674-674. Tell us what you think about Arsenal's exploits in the transfer window this season, and of course tell us what you also think about Jack Grealish. Unaona huyu jamaa anafaa kuwa kwa first 11 ya watu next season ama benchiwe apigane na subs huko ama namna gani? Twende kazi. Yes sir, of course ngoma hiyo inaitwa Naogopa by Mario and Harmonize, such a dope tune we're just listening to right about now. You're chilling with the number one name in music, NRG Radio, and of course you're tuned in to NRG Radio as well. Kama dawa NRG Sports Vibe iko hapa ndani. You're chilling with the Dream Team. Tuko hapa na Sammy and of course Nicolette White. Guys, should we talk about Man City ama tuanze na Chelsea?
I think we start with Chelsea.
Why? Why, Sammy?
Let's start with Chelsea because we were talking about this off air yesterday, and we were saying how on Twitter KOT was at work. KOT was at work. Kenyans on Twitter, if you don't know what KOT stands for, Kenyans on Twitter were at work and they were looking at who? David Ornstein.
Yeah, David Ornstein for the first time. I think they've realized the Fabrizio thing.
Exactly.
Fabrizio's still number one.
No,
in
he's
my
not.
view.
No,
Still
he's
number
not.
one.
No, he's not.
In his view. In
your view.
In my view, he still has the most contacts in Spanish football, still has the most contacts in French football, Italian football. So if we exclude English football, where David Ornstein probably reigns supreme, we can see that in terms of European football at large, Fabrizio is still quite vocal.
He can have all the contacts he wants on his phone, lakini akona uongo.
But he doesn't call them. He doesn't call to confirm. Call and confirm. when David Orstein tweets EXL, guys know what's going down. That's why yesterday KOT was there. David Orstein, where's that EXL?
I mean, you can remember the Mbappe contract when we were told by Fabrizio, even before it came out, I think 24 hours before, he already knew all the information about the contract.
But you see, that one he had also copied from French media. French media had already said.
Oh.
He had already said. So Ali translates 2 tweets.
Basically, JT, it's like me saying, I have like 40 numbers. I have 40 ladies' numbers on my phone. Niko na madem wengi kwa phone yangu. Lakini if I don't call them,
it doesn't count.
It doesn't count. It doesn't count.
Okay. But it depends on which girl we're talking about. Dog up and Mlami locked in from MKU Thika. Show equal lit. NRG, we need your FPL league. We need the Premier League season to be hot as fire.
It's coming.
So how are we going with the FPL thing?
Don't worry, we're gonna post the link on the Energy Sports Vibe page. We're gonna post the code on the Energy Sports Vibe page, and we want all of you to join the Energy Sports Vibe Fantasy Premier League. And look, at the end of the league, whoever's gonna win it, then you're gonna get something special. But at the end of the day, it's all about competition. It's all about just knowing the players that you choose and whatever. It's dude, me, I've never done FPL before, I'll be honest.
Me, I have, but me, I'm full on Sean Dyche.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see, I started buying my 15 players. It's really tricky. I don't know who to buy because they only gave me 100 million. I don't know who to buy. But keeper, I started with De Gea because I'm hoping our defense actually make sure shots this in gear. The middle of the pack. Let me not sell too much of my great.
Usiuze.
Bro, this is not even a time to start setting up a team. I usually wait until the last week for transfers. Because your team closes every few hours before the game.
Yes.
1 hour before the games, right?
Yeah.
I'd rather risk it and wait until I know who's transferring where and who's what.
But Sancho, I bought Sancho, and I also made sure I have Shaw on my team. I don't trust Malacia that much.
This guy is so biased. You just said 3 United players.
Dog up and Asema, guys, me as a City fan, we have lost a very brilliant player, but either way, City are still strong. I feel like Pep is building Arsenal. Carl Keyatos here, loving the show. Big shout out to my favorite G, best in Arsenal fan out of Kisumu. Dog up and Asema, anaitwa Victor from Oyole, Asema, Arteta knows what he is doing. Na I'm sure atafanya mengi next season. As for Grealish, wacha akae kwa pitch ndo tuone between yeye na Wana na Nunes who is the better flop.
Wow.
Nunes, by the way, apparently there's a rumor I read somewhere that he might be on his way to Atalanta.
Yeah.
So aliona maisha English Premier League.
I mean, guys, Martial scored 4 goals in I think 4 games. Nunes scored 4 in 1 game.
Maze, all this sunlight and you're just throwing shade at me.
I can't come on. Which Nunes are you talking about? I think that guy meant Tavares.
I think he's talking about Darwin.
No, I think he's talking about Tavares because we're talking about last season, right?
Yep.
Tavares gave more than people, like he was underwhelming.
Yeah, he was. And Darwin Nunes, look.
Juan and Nunes. So I think he's naming strikers.
Strikers, yeah?
I think his name is strikers.
Dude, did you watch those highlights? Liverpool versus
I watched
Leipzig?
the game.
You watched the game?
I watched the game. I like Angelino. I don't know why you sold him from City, went to Leipzig.
He wasn't good enough.
I like him. I just feel like he's so explosive. He can shoot the ball. He can cross the ball. He can run
fine.
with the ball.
He's a decent player, but he just wasn't good enough for us. He wasn't.
Yeah.
So since we're already talking about City, since we're
I think we should just continue.
Nicolette akona agenda.
Akona
agenda.
Kukurea?
Yeah, Cucurella. Now, okay, whether
and Nicolette likes these players with a lot of hair. It seems like it, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah,
I have a soft spot for men with good hair.
Let's go.
Oh, okay.
Let's go.
So Cucurella, Cucurella, from Brighton. He was Brighton's player of the season last year. He's a left back, highly sorted by City. Now, Brighton have put his price tag at 50 million. City put out a bid for 30 million. Brighton looked us in the face and said, no, we don't want you.
Actually, what they said was, your bid was laughable for the player that Cucurella is.
Laughable. Joining the Premier League champions.
Bruh, it's still laughable. You guys are domestic champions.
So, when he was supposed to spend 70
Spanish
mil.
international.
So,
una bid 30M.
So, again.
So what, how much is Morata? He's probably worth 5 million now.
Imagine.
But Morata is a hit or miss.
If Sadio Mane was sold to Bayern
don't
for
play
less
the same
than
position.
for less than 40 mil.
They do not play the same position.
It's not about the position.
They do not play the same position, and they're not the same age.
It's about the caliber of player.
They do not play the same position, and they're not the same age.
Guys, I remember watching a certain match in La Liga. I can't remember which teams were playing, but I remember seeing Cucurella in the mix. I don't know whether he was in Villarreal. Which team was he in before he came to Brighton?
Before Brighton, we need to confirm that. But
he was absolutely explosive. You know,
even for Brighton. For Brighton.
Yeah, he understands.
In fact, you should know that because they chapped you 4-0.
Yeah,
you should know that.
He didn't play that well in that game.
He
didn't play that well in that game. But Cucurella, someone broke the news that he's been sold, and then there was some drama about, you don't have the facts. I heard you guys mumbling about this yesterday. What was that about?
No, he hasn't been sold.
No, some was it Fabrizio or Onsti? Someone must have broke the news.
Austin never breaks news that's not confirmed.
What were you guys talking about? It was 30 million and then it's 50, something like that.
Fabrizio Romano, of which very many people find him as a very reliable source of information in the football community. Fabrizio posted a quote where he was saying that Pep Guardiola, talking about Cucurella, saying that we're in negotiations, whatever, and then someone else with a verified account, I think Jack Gorgon, replied and said, "You are lying. He never said the words in negotiations."
Yeah, they're not, because their bid was rejected and City haven't offered another bid as of yet.
Exactly. Well, which is why I'm saying Fabrizio Romano is not the best source for information. Jamani is sensationalist, by the way.
I think he's getting clicks though. He hit 1 million subs about 3 weeks ago. So is it for clicks or is he doing something that's credible?
But it's not the first time he's done that.
It's not the first time.
Imagine having 1 million subs and you're still lying. Imagine.
He jumps the gun. I'd say he jumps the gun a bit too fast.
Yeah.
My main man hapa anaitwa Victor from Oyole anasema, guys, please do United. We need to hear stuff about CR7. Of course, Victor, we are getting to that in a few. Lakini kwa sasa nataka tuende break. Nataka uniambie, what do you think about this Cucurella situation? Unless we have something else to say about City.
There's really nothing else to say about City.
You're not going to be excited about your new number 7?
Joao Cancelo is so good as a left back stroke right back that we've given him a number 7. How good does your full back have to be to get the number 7?
That's nonsense. I watched him play midfield.
Where? For Kariobangi Sharks?
No, your last game.
Wait, please leave my team out of this drama.
I think it was your last game. I think you played Charlotte in the USA. You were in LA, and then Kevin De Bruyne, of course, did the thing from outside the D. I saw him play midfield. I saw him play left back. I saw him play.
But that's pre-season. I'm talking about last season. Last season, he was strictly a fullback, and we've given him number 7, inheriting Sterling's number. You understand?
Well, Calvin Phillips is also number 4 in your team. I think it's just the fact that you don't have the original players for those numbers, so you're just dishing out numbers to everyone who comes. Because how is Calvin Phillips a number 4? See, and I saw him play centre back.
I mean,
he played centre back.
Yeah, because Pep Guardiola is a madman. He'll put you in any position.
I think Rodri is just too good.
Rodri is fine, and Calvin Phillips he'll do well.
Calvin Phillips is a good player, honestly.
He's a good
English internationals, of course, trying to stamp their mark in English football. 0710-674-674. Tell us what you think about Manchester City and the exploits in the transfer window. Of course, nimesikia mambo yenu kuhusu Arsenali hapa na pale. Watu wamesema Arteta knows what he's doing. Well, there's only one thing left to do. There's only one way to find out. It's to play the first game. Of course, they will be facing, I believe it's Crystal Palace, the first game of the season. Tuko pale tunakaribia elections alafu mpira. Itakuwa ni mambo tamu sana. Twende kazi. 0710-674-674. Yes, sir. That was Rock Your Body by Richastic. Natupea tunes for the days. It's your boy JT Mad Love for the basics. You're chilling with the number 1 name in music energy radio. And of course, niko hapa na Sammy Wamai and Nicolette White. Guys, Sammy mwaniambia kuna transfers mingi sana.
Kuna mob sana.
Mingi sana. Unaona basi tuanze na gani hiyo?
There's, Koinde to Chelsea that we've addressed.
That is who?
Koinde. Amesema Koinde.
I don't know if it's Kounde or Kunde or Mtura. I don't know what his name is. Yeah.
Why you throwing so much shade, bwana? Unajua jamani star wa Sevilla?
He's not the star.
Sevilla,
he's not the star.
He's a superstar.
He's not a superstar.
He's a French international playing for the French team.
You're telling me Konde can get a place in that midfield with Kante, Matuidi and Pogba?
I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about defense.
Even in defense.
He started the previous friendlies they had. All of them.
He started all of them,
Yeah.
But he's still not a superstar to me. Anyway,
so we dive into that, Basi, since we've already started diving into it.
Yeah, okay. I'll be honest, I haven't seen enough of him for me to now think that, okay, this guy, he's the real deal. Okay? Like, I'll compare him to, and this is not a biased opinion, I'll compare him to maybe, I know they don't play the same position, I'll compare him to someone like maybe a Haaland. Okay? Haaland, where we know we can see the stats, his striking stats and the amount of goals he scored, despite him being 22 years old. But looking at he's called Jules
Timber.
Jules.
Oh, Jules Kounde.
Jules Mutura. He's
is Kounde like does it mean Bowos? Inaitwangaje Bow? Hiyo nini Mutura inaitwangaje? Is that why you're calling him Mutura?
No, it's called, it reminds me of Kunde. You know Kunde, that kale kaskuma?
Oh my god.
You know Kunde?
Oh my god.
But anyway, I'm not seeing enough for that convinces me that he is a world beater, that he's that guy.
Do you think these guys are just hiking the price of this guy because it's Chelsea who are asking for him? Chelsea now have that burden on them where because of who they've been acquired by a very wealthy American firm. They're being, if you're inquiring for a player right now, your price will go up.
Of course.
I think when you're talking about centre backs, if a player can play left back or right back just as well as he can play centre back at that age in a team like Sevilla, because he broke into the system so quick, and at his age below 23, if you can play numerous positions within the defense, then you are the creme de la creme. You are the Martinez of this world. You are the Timber of this world. You are the Delits of this world, because there's not many players at that age that can command a defense. That's why he's expensive. That's why he's highly sought after. He might have not shown the kind of quality you want him to show, but for defenders, they hit their prime later. So I think that's why.
But also that price, asking price of 50, it's 55 plus or 51 to do something like that.
Yeah.
It isn't too high though for a defender.
That is the same way I feel about Kukureya. That's the same way.
No, but you see, I'll give you the difference. Kukureya is already in the English league. He doesn't need time to break into the league. You understand?
Yeah.
With Jules Kounde, he'll need time to break into the league. It may work, it may not work, because let's be honest, the things you can do in Spain, you can literally backflip a player and not get a penalty for it.
True.
When you come to English football, it's completely different. It really boxes a defender. I remember Varane was being asked recently about how he feels. Does he feel like he regretted making that move from Spain to England? Because it boxes in a defender. You have to be very clinical. You have to be thoughtful. You have to be tactical. It's not let's just go come on to tunacheza mtaani.
It took Rudiger a while to understand the Premier League. It takes time. The tactical awareness clearly has to change, has to improve, because the level is higher. The best league in the world. Should we talk about Dybala going to Roma? On a free time, and there's a lot of free players now. Suarez bado ana team.
Pogba to Juventus on a free. Dybala as well. Dybala, he was linked with Inter before Roma.
They were already in talks. That's what I don't understand.
Imagine.
It's like Roma hijacked it.
Mourinho just hijacked it. Is Roma going to be able to compete for the Serie A next season? Because I feel like they have a lot of firepower now.
For Scudetto.
Yeah. You see, the thing is, I feel like that's a conversation every time the season is about to begin, but then they disappoint.
Not for Roma, certainly not last season.
I'm talking about Roma.
Not last season. Certainly, no one thought that win anything concerning Serie A last season.
Yeah, they won the Conference League. Yani, basically, when there's no more chocolate on the shelf and you have to settle for strawberry.
Come on, Sam.
Yeah. No, honestly, it is. It is.
Show some. Well, pea Mourinho heshima ambayo anadeserve, my friend. Umeona hiyo tattoo yake moja hatari sana.
Yeah. He's got a tattoo. Fine.
And he's the only one that can have the tattoo.
It's fine. I'll give him that. I'll give Mourinho that. By the way, Mourinho, okay, not if you're listening, because I know you're not, but props to you. But anyway, when it comes to Roma, they haven't been competitors in the Serie A for a long time.
They finished 6th last season.
Exactly.
They finished 6th, and mind you, Juventus was on the brink of being relegated. Like, Juventus was doing horribly last season, and they managed to finish 4th.
Imagine.
I think just look at the kinds of players the top four had. And look at the kinds of players Mourinho
But
had.
Juventus didn't have those kind of players. You have to understand. Their main player, Chiesa, was injured throughout the season. That's the reason they had to bring in Vlahovic. Because they didn't have someone in the striking position. Chiellini was on his way out. Chiellini was injured throughout the season. If he's not injured, Bonucci is injured. There was always so much going on in the injury. The elite just wasn't cutting it in defense, and they managed to finish fourth.
I think what I'm trying to say is pound for pound, you look at Juventus squad, you look at Napoli, what they have. You look at, was it Fiorentina? They also made it there.
What? The top 4?
Yeah.
No.
Who else made it there?
There was
Napoli, Juventus, AC Milan, Inter Milan.
There was AC Milan that won with a 40-year-old striker.
Yeah, 41.
He's still Zlatan. Now,
he's 40 years old.
What I'm trying to say is look at these players pound for pound.
Yeah.
Compare their market value and compare the market value of Roma's squad. They're still not capable of winning the league.
But they have
this season, I feel like they have a chance. I feel like if they start on the front foot, even though they started on the front foot last season, alafu pale katikati vitu zikaanza sasa kushow when now the cracks start showing. I don't know, maybe they might be able to do something.
I think the Italian league is becoming very competitive.
It's either very competitive or all of them are absolute garbage.
I think it's becoming very competitive because if you look at even the way they're doing transfer business right now, we'd never used to see Italians going out of their way to do transfer business. All the big clubs like AC Milan, Lazio back in the day would be the ones to do that power kind of business in terms of bringing in players. Right now, even Sassuolo are looking at good players. They're releasing players and bringing in better players. So it's becoming a very competitive and enjoyable league to watch. So I think Mourinho bringing in Akina Dybala and all, because he can see the competition happening, but it's still going to be very tough.
It's going to be very tough. Of course, you got Inter. They got back Lakaka, Omushambulizi.
In the preseason, has he scored the preseason yet?
Bruh, what do you mean scored? And the dude has been told he must go back on that Mediterranean diet because he's gained how much weight?
Come on, we can't blame Lukaku for eating.
No, he was fat at Chelsea.
We can't call him.
He was fat. He was fat at Manchester United. That was his biggest problem at United. His weight.
No, we can't blame Lukaku as
You can't blame Lukaku.
Yeah, which player do you have right now in your team that has more than 250 goals?
What, more than 250 goals in their career?
Yeah.
None. But the thing is, you're looking at career.
It's like calling Brazilian Ronaldo fat. Anyway, that was
Brazilian Ronaldo has thyroids. What's Lukaku's excuse?
What's his excuse?
Doga panasema Mora out of Wendani wa weekend gang. I'm late in the show, but niko ndani show iko lit kama kawa kama dawa. Doga panasema Victor from Oyole anasema City are a great team, so I'm waiting to watch them play Bayern Munich. Hopefully Haaland will have a very happy game winning against Bayern Munich for the first time. Sammy, I don't think you guys will be able to beat Bayern. I saw Bayern play, of course, their preseason game in the US. They won 5-0. Mane scored a penalty, gave an assist. I saw Gravenberch do his thing. I saw Mazraoui do his thing. Davis was outstanding. I just feel like they're too strong.
Look, I don't care if we lose to Bayern or not, because again, ni pre-season.
Is that denial? No,
see, denial. In fact, in the build-up to the match, when the players were training on the pitch, we saw, there are videos of Kevin De Bruyne and Leroy Sané talking. There are videos of Leroy Sané talking to other City players. Joanna, these guys are friends. You understand? At the end of the day. So, look, I'm not saying I don't want to beat Bayern. I want to beat. Of course, I want them.
The preseason. I think that's the first professional game that we're going to see in the preseason.
Not professional per se, but
I'm going to say professional
the
because
first real game, in terms of competition.
Because we have champions of Germany against champions of England.
For sure. Thank you for acknowledging that. Thank you for acknowledging that. Say it again.
No, did you win the FA?
It's the champions of Germany and champions.
Did you win the FA?
FA
Cup. Win the FA?
No, it was
so
Liverpool.
You're champions of the English Premier League. Dogo hapa naitwa Carl KE out of Siaya. Hello Nicolette, please stop criticizing Pep's decision as far as Phillips jersey is concerned. That was me anyway. I think you mistook.
What did that? No, but I didn't criticize. No, but I didn't criticize.
Let me finish. As far as Pep's is concerned about his position, Pep is brilliant. I think Phillips is capable of playing as a CB and as a defensive midfielder like Fernandinho. And
if this dude was actually listening to this show.
We love how Pep does his things. Never doubt Pep. Amerusha hapo fire emojis. Carl K hata Siaya.
Carl K angekuwa anasikiza show.
Hajamaliza akaja mali akasema Nicolento wacha kukua bias my friend. Carl K, I think Carl K is throwing some hate.
No, he is. Bias. Wait, relax Sammy. The only thing I said about Calvin Phillips is that he's a good player. Jamani. Bruh, even if you're trying to throw shade, like listen to the points, look at the player that I've actually criticized and then pick that player.
Aya, Sami ndio yako dogo hapa sema Mutura haina English. Nimeona highlights za Kunde bro, he is fire.
Ako sawa.
Bro, kwa highlights kila mtu ni fire. Hata Maguire ukitafuta highlights zake sahi, you'll be like he's worth that 80 million United were account for.
Guys, Maguire played well today, first half.
He did,
Played exceptionally well in the high line.
That's your captain, yes. He has to play well.
He captained the team pretty well. Well, guys, we're biting into 3 minutes of 4-on-1. I want us to go for a short break so that when we come back, we can now tuangalie story ambazo zinaendelea duniani kuhusu sporti. Now, I want to leave you with Rotimi, of course, anasema, I want you to love somebody. Tuende kazi.